Hello, hello, this is DoitiEtok. Today we are playing this wonderful little game of Mario Golf. We have an online lobby. First time playing online, 18 holes with an all-at-once and specials. So we're going to be playing as Daisy, and we have WinterBaby, Judson, and Randy playing as Pauline, Bowser, and Bowser Jr. respectively. I played this game a little bit earlier. I mostly cut out stuff after my shots just so that this video wouldn't be 3 years long, but we'll see how it's going. So we're entering hole 1. This is a map that I haven't seen yet, and this is also, as I said, one of the first times that I'm playing this game online. I had played a game yesterday where I lagged out partway through it, but everybody did. Very unstable. At least for that one. Today's game was fairly stable in terms of connection. So we got our first hit, little overshot into the rough, but we'll see how it goes. Wind is 9, a little bit bottom right, plus this elevation is really messing with me. Everybody else seems to have their shots pretty well handled as I'm coming back with the backspin, but it's just taking a hard curve to the right, and it doesn't look like we're going to be starting on the best terms, let's be honest. Hole 1 already hurting us a little bit. And we'll be clearing it up here. Winter finished in 4 strokes. Randy is on his 4th stroke. And he sinks it. We're also on our 4th stroke here. Let's see if we can get this. And it looks like we just pulled it to the right. And then Judson will also end up taking this in 4 strokes. So, there it is. Let's move on to hole number 2. We're now 1 down across the board. It's a fairly short course, but everybody's got their power-ups. And, let's just say I don't know the strength of power-ups yet. So we see Randy's riding the smoke ball. We have actually a pretty decent shot coming in, right? It's an all-right approach, considering I don't know what's happening on the course, and then bam, just nailed out of the way by Bowser Jr. and his smoke screen. Sort of hides the flag on us too, so we're just going to use our power-up more as a defensive measure to put us on course, so that the ball's not rolling around, because with daisies, when the ball hits, it just plants there. It might move a little bit, but not that much, and we're going to use that to get a nice par. So now we're tied with Randy and Winter coming into the next hole. We're going to take it off to the right a little bit, and wasn't really expecting too many people to pull off to the right, but Bowser Jr. went first. We have to watch Winter and Judson here because they've got power-ups. And really, that's about it, right? I mean, we're still a little bit out of the green. So we're going to use a little bit of topspin here. It is downhill from our position. So the hope is that if we hit this cleanly, we can get it pretty close. Instead, we're just barely getting on to the fairway, which isn't that bad, I suppose. 7 miles per hour. The only one not here is Bowser, and that should scare me at this point, right? Like we saw Pauline come on up.
Nice approach.
But we're all pretty close. So we're gonna take this birdie, and we're gonna head this into the next round. And I believe on that hole, everybody ended up with a birdie.
Ready?
Okay, let it begin. We're going to power this onto the side. The fire bars are really confusing me here. I don't really get what they do because they're so low. But that's fine. I guess if you're running on the course like with the battle mode, then you have to run around those or else you get hit by them. Here it goes. Now, Bowser in front of me has not used his ability yet, so we're trying to wait for him to use something, and it looks like Bowser Jr. just got launched in the air by the fire bar. We see that? Oh my goodness. absolutely destroyed. Okay, so back to waiting for Bowser to take his hit so that we can take ours. And good to go.
Nice shot.
We nailed that. Right down the middle. So we see that Winter did this in 4 strokes. Judson is on his 3rd. We're also on our 3rd, and Randy did it in 4 strokes. So we have a decent chance to pull a point here. Can we do it? It doesn't look like we can. Randy's on stroke 5 though, so as long as we don't screw up a tap in, we should be able to get ahead of someone, and he missed it! Oh no. As I said, we're skipping through that, but we'll see.
Ready?
He's now +2. Judson also did that in 5, so we have a little bit of a gap forming heading into hole 5. Judson's behind by 1, Randy by 2. But it's Mario Golf with power-ups. Who knows what'll happen? So this is gonna land on the side, not really move that much. The nice thing about the super backspin is you can just get it to pretty much stay even. So the wind isn't gonna be doing us any favors. Plus Judson and Winter both still have their power-ups. Winter, I don't think, has used theirs at all. And Judson, I'm not sure. Well, that answers that. Judson just used his. And we already overshot this. We're just being put further out. So that's not the end of the world. It was already a bad hit by me. But what can you say? We just need to bring this back, right? A nice little chip shot and a little bit too little power. But we get the tap in. And Randy's going up by another one. And we have Winter actually getting below there, so we're no longer tied for first. Really small track here. Or, yeah, really small course track. I'm still waiting because everybody's got power-ups now. I guess I take the bullet, I bite the bullet, and I'm gonna be the first to go along with Pauline. And
Nice on.
oh, you can just hear death. I decided not to take the hit, so we're still on stroke 2. We've just been pushed really far out of the way. That also ate some of our special, so we can't just immediately special back. And yeah. So now we're back on the outside. It hurts. It hurts, but we gotta get back in. Looks like we put a little bit too much power on that. We're back behind Winter, who's trying to recover as well. And yeah, so that's why you'll see a lot of waiting at times. Stuff like that hurts. But we're at 2.8, which is just within tap-in range, so we're still going to be tied at +1 for that first place. Randy got the 2-stroke finish there. Judson also ends with +2, so it's still broke into 2 groups here. And on this one, it's just me and Winter with the power-ups. As I said, I don't think Winter's used theirs at all yet. We're going to pull this off to the right. You can see that wall right in front of us. We have to be careful about where we land because, you know, if we want to get to the hole, we have to be able to get around that. And it doesn't look like we quite got around there. So, okay. So we have a little bit of danger. The wind is blowing at 11 miles per hour, so that'll naturally bring it into the direction. But we're still going to try to pull that to the right so that we're somewhat near the hole. And we're just on the fringe. Time to putt ourselves to victory on this par 4. This is a birdie putt, technically. And we roll over the hole. Way too much power. The long putts are not my strong game at this point. You can really tell. And we just put ourselves in another situation to have to long putt. And we're going to be +1 yet again. So it's not going well.
Bogey.
There's the bogey. Ouch. There's Pauline. There's Bowser. Bowser Jr. Then we're back onto the next hole, hole 8. Already 10 minutes into it, so you can already see why I cut a lot of their stuff out, because sometimes it would go on for another minute or two after I would sink a hole. And a game is about 40-ish minutes. So we really didn't want to include everything. It's also why we don't have the score up. We'll have it up after 9 holes and then again at the end. But that's really about it. You can see what the relative scores are at the top. We get a nice little sink here. The drop in elevation is something that I really wasn't used to coming into this game. I was still trying to figure out stuff like ball control, spin, and elevation and wind are... The wind I understand a little bit better than the elevation, how to deal with it. And putting is just so difficult when you're first starting out, especially with the blue to red. But we got a par. We're still in second place. Winter's gained quite a bit of a gap. So heading on to the next level, we got a gigantic Bowser. This is hole 9. We need to hold some sort of a comeback here, but it doesn't look like we'll be able to with Pauline landing in a perfect spot to really continue. We do have Judson with his special power up now. Just measuring this out, we realized we can't really make that, so let's just play it safe and go for the small area. Pauline finally using the power up here on hole 9 for something. Let's see how it goes. So we land, and Pauline. Winter's. Wow. That's right over it. Okay, so now I'm using my special shot. Again, I, in this game, use it more to get close to the hole. As you can see, I'm basically right on top of it. And Bowser hitting it in there didn't go super well. But that's fine. So at the end of 9, here's our scores. We are, in fact, down by 1. Oh, Judson was the one who didn't get the birdie. So everybody got a birdie on that hole. And you could pause it there if you want to see the overall scores for the first 9. We'll show them again at the end of 18 for a little bit longer at the end of the video. But yeah, trying to keep pace with Winter, who's up by 2 on us. Everybody else is right behind us by 1. We're on the rough. A little bit of pain. Randy, Judson both have specials. What's going through my mind is we're going to have a really bad curve on this, and I'm not sure how bad it'll be.
Nice shot.
It looks like the curve wasn't as bad as we thought, but we had to put more power into that because it was above us in elevation. Again, not really good at that. And here, I'm going to take the putt, and I shouldn't have hit that at all. Because now, boom, we hit it again for the second time. So now we're on stroke 4. Oh no. So this is stroke 5 after all of that. Oh, pain. We just ate so many strokes off of that, trying to put that in before that landed. And if we just didn't do that, we'd be perfectly fine. But now we're 13.5. And we're going to try to eke our way back in. We end up getting it in on the double bogey, so now we're +3. And it turns out we're now 2 strokes behind literally everybody just because we wasted 2 strokes putting. Oh, and that's one that hurts. So we're waiting for Bowser to go here. And again, hole 11. So we see Pauline sailing through the sky, able to make it. I'm like, I could do that. But it doesn't look like anybody's really pressuring other people, so it's all me. And just barely over the top. And bring it down onto the course. But it looks like we caught some downhill, and we are not in the greatest position. Winter with the putt there, not quite able to get it in. Judson holding his abilities for something. But they're both in. Judson got it in 2 strokes, so down to 8+0. And we're just gonna place this in for a par. I believe Randy did pretty poorly on that hole, yep. So we're now tied with Randy. So this is a difficult one at the beginning. So we're gonna talk a little bit about crazy, such as, guys, did you know that I have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/DoitiEtok, where you can watch me play games, especially during the week. Be integrating probably some of this into there. Okay, Bowser finally hit. So we're gonna take this plunge up onto this course and just try to land it in a spot where I think we're safe, which is right before this chain chomp. I know, chain chomp, not usually the safest of places, but yeah, what can you say? So these are the same elevations, so we're going to be trying to go with the 7-mile-per-hour wind and the ground cutting us slightly to the left. And we're going to try to find the right spot here. Bowser's hit. And I feel good about this when I hit it. Backspin, maybe. Maybe a little bad, but we're getting better with the ground and the elevation stuff. So if we're able to hit this well, we'll have a birdie. And we did!
Nice birdie.
So we take the best hit on that one. So now we're in second. Or not second, we're in third. I'm not cutting that. That's amazing. We're in third because we have 2 points. Wow. Because Judson and Winter are tied for first. So this is a weird hit.
Nice shot.
So my goal here was to catch them off guard and knock some of them back from there. But I hit it a little bit too far. And what do you know? It didn't work out for me well. So now we got to play it on to the green. And unfortunately for me, we're just not close enough to sink this. Judson is readying a meteor strike. As we can tell, it's now coming down. And wasn't going to make it in anyway. Again, I just shouldn't have hit it. You'd think I'd learned my lesson before that, but I didn't. So now we're going to be playing to try to get back up there and just catch up. And ooh, off the flag post. We got a pin shot. Not quite enough to get it in. So +5 puts us back to +3, and Randy, by taking his time, is able to get 1 point ahead of us. Big lava dragon thing here looks cool. So if we look here, Bowser Jr. is looking over to the right. I don't think this is part of this course. I'm not sure if you can hit it off of that. Not sure. Bowser Jr. taking the hit. Him and Winter have power-ups. We're not really worried about Winter's power-ups because Winter has shown that not really using them to attack other people at this point. So we're mostly just watching for the smoke screen. And that'll make this a little scary. With 4 holes left, we are 1 behind Randy. So if he decides with that Bowser Jr. to just try to remove us from play, he could probably just slip into third. But also, if I'm looking at that, I'd be looking at Winter or Judson to move up a position if I were Bowser Jr. Winter's readying Songbird Stinger as we roll right in front of him. But still, takes the strike. Not a bad position overall. Now, if I hit this, there it is. There's the smoke. So we're going to wait for that to land. It's in the air. No power-ups remaining. We're good to go. And that's going to be 9-mile-per-hour wind, plus some other crazy stuff. And we're just going to try to place it right next to the hole. We get it there. 7.6 feet. the ability to make it a birdie. We're just gonna line this up, tap it, and oh, off the hole. Now if Bowser Jr. sinks this, we'll still be one off from each other. Just misses it. So it looks like Bowser Jr. and I are gonna, wow. Looks like Bowser Jr. and I are gonna be tied heading into hole 15, and we are. Winter's fallen back 2 points. Judson now up by 1. We're taking that standard swing this time towards the hole. No power-ups to worry about, so we're just playing golf. We'll say, it feels good to be just playing golf instead of having to worry about smoke screens and explosions and stuff. Got 7-mile-per-hour wind. This would be like a good time to take your time, but I'm not going to do that. We have a slight curve to the right that I don't think I noticed when taking the shot, and that's going to put us at a weird point here. But that 7-mile-per-hour wind really didn't do as much as we thought, so we're pretty far out of there. Just need to hit this well, and it just passes the hole. A good distance beyond it. Will make it quite difficult to get the par, I'd think. Especially with me being me and not knowing how to hit these. That's gonna get close, but not go in. So we're on stroke 5. So we might still be one behind Bowser Jr. heading into 16.
Whoa.
And that means there's 3 holes left. And yep, he sinks it. So we are, in fact,
Ready?
1 behind heading into 16. This seemed really tight to me. So we're gonna back up and use the 3 wedge. And that's going to place it down just on the high ground here. I felt like I wanted to use the elevation. I didn't feel like other people would necessarily go this route. So we know that if we hit it weaker, we should be good. The 9-mile-per-hour wind, I'm still not sure what the damage from that will be, but I noticed that I hit too far, so now we're gonna be doing backward spins to try to get it shorter. And oh, if that were just slightly to the left, that would have bounced in. 8.9 feet to the hole. Nice attempt at the chip. And unfortunately, we literally roll off of the hole. There was our chance to catch up.
Yeah.
Oh. So we're still at par. But hey, Randy fell back, +4. 2 holes left. This one's an uphill mess. I'm not sure about how hard to hit this, or if I want to hit this, because I think Judson's got his special now, right? So we gotta be careful. We're gonna be waiting this out, but with it uphill like this, maybe the 6-iron is better than the 7-iron. I'm not even sure. I'm trying to think about stuff while we're sitting here, but we're all waiting on the same exact thing, and this is a real problem with this game, is we are literally all just waiting. And once he goes, then I go. But he undershot it.
Birdie.
Which means I'm able to go for the birdie.
Nice birdie.
So I used my ability there rather quickly just to get the safety in. Again, not really going for the knockoffs. We would have had one if Bowser had hit it better, but it wasn't my main goal. So now everybody but me has their ability heading into the final hole. And I'm hoping for some chaos. But I don't know what Bowser's doing. Bowser just wants everybody else to hit it, right? Because he's winning this game right now. So Judson just wants everybody else to hit it. I'm the only non-threat. So Winter readying Songbird to try to rush to the end. There it is. Hits it very hard up there, but looks like they overshot the hole by quite a bit if I'm reading the map correctly. Now for me, I don't know what I'm doing. Look at this map. Look at this map. Past me is a crazy person for even thinking about trying to hit this. So the ground is going to take this off to the right-hand side by a lot. We've got some top spin on this. I'll give you a hint. The top spin doesn't mean anything. Now we're just going to go right into this chasm of death. So Winter got a par at 5 strokes. That just means Judson needs to get 5 strokes to win, 6 to tie. And that's game. Randy also hit a par. Randy's 2 strokes behind me. So that was my 4th stroke. So we have 2 shots to get this in, if we don't want to be in last. Come on, we can do it. Surprise, Randy didn't use his ability on this hole and literally just missed it, but that also means that we cannot possibly miss the last one with the tap in.
Bogey.
Whatever.
Now, this is the final hole of the game, so we see in the penalty zone we have Judson now on his 6th stroke. That means that no matter what, he can at best tie if he chips this in. Come on. Come on! Decent hit. Gonna land, but I don't know how close it's gonna get. This is middle distance. He could still screw this up, and if he does, this actually would be tied with me for 2nd, right? So he's got to sink this, and he does for the +3. So that's how this game will end. First game on the course, first game playing this mode, basically. We're able to pull out a 3rd place. Stayed somewhat competitive to the end. We were only separated from Winter by 2 points. So thanks for watching. Congrats in the game. I do have my 2nd game that I played that I will be doing the same thing with probably in a few days. You can sub if you want to watch that. Here we have our score. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.